All right, so we got another episode here. This may be the most interesting episode that we have. I may even actually upload this. But before we even get started with that, I'll be honest, at first I thought that this is going to be another flashback thing just to drag it out. I'm glad it's not, at least assuming, just based off of the thumbnail. But I want to showcase something here if I can freaking find it. Yes. So I didn't upload the last episode primarily due to the fact that this I recorded my reaction to episode 3, and my face exactly the same. Exactly the same. Stone faced. Now, I have episode 4 here. I didn't edit it, but I am talking more, right? I'm still looking down on my phone, honestly, because it was just fucking boring. And I'm talking about the political stuff here that I do like the political aspects here. However, when I thought about it, it still didn't make sense for them to not discuss this with the High Jedi Council, because the High Jedi Council would definitely hide things from the Senate. They have in canon, unless you want to make the argument that, oh no, the recent Jedi Councils started doing this as a result of this or what have you. I'm not going to get into all that. Probably by the end of the episode, I might rant. Not entirely sure. But we are just going to get started. I hope they didn't off-screen this stuff. See, I don't even hear any combat. I don't want to judge it too harshly right now, though. Alright, I do hear it. Cool. Okay. Show us. I'm not... Hey. Why is he not doing kill shots? Alright, now he's doing it. He's just not to the main characters. Cool. Oh, is that Beskar? Wait. Okay. I'm getting hyped. Oh! Okay. Okay, hold on now. Hold on. Ooh. My thing is, why didn't you kill her previously? Not gonna lie. Best start that they've had in an episode yet. Now they ruined it.
I sense something familiar.
What is this? Hey. Ooh. Okay. So is this one of the moms? Because I already heard that there was a leak.
You carry a Jedi weapon.
What is the point in fighting hand to hand when you both have lightsabers? 180 million, I'm just saying. You both have lightsabers, I'm just saying. I'm not gonna lie, this choreography is fairly decent. It's fairly decent.
Master hides his face from his pupil. You tell me.
See, I'm already having some concerns about the story from that exchange, but
She's a Jedi. She can take care of herself. I need to get
yeah, a Jedi who's not using their lightsaber, which is crazy. Okay. Now, if they do the bait and switch and we find out that this is actually a woman, that's going to be crazy to me.
doesn't make sense. He gets into your head and he stays there.
Ooh, that's what Vader does. Oh,
Get inside a Jedi's head.
here we go.
I saw it once.
Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Hey. Not gonna lie, I'm enjoying the choreography. Bro, the Beskar. Wait, that's not Beskar. That's Cortos's. That's Cortos's. Hey! They established that Cortos's does deactivate lightsabers. Alright, they got the sad music. I heard some sad music. Bro, why? You shouldn't have as many witnesses. So if this is actually a Sith Lord... Ooh! I can't tell if this is Makashi or not. Alright, I don't think it would be one of the moms then. Oh. Hey. Bro, this is some decent combat. Whoa! I'm not gonna lie. I'm shocked that he actually killed them. I am actually shocked. It took 4 episodes for this to get good?
You brought her here. Hello. Call me.
Why risk discovery?
Yeah.
Well, I did wear a mask.
Ha! Okay. Okay. Oh, he actually...
You. Surprise.
Oh! Oh! He's actually murdering everybody! Bro. Ooh, okay. All right, this is some good hand-to-hand now. Hey. Hey. No! Some Jedi would have had to felt their deaths, but you know, whatever. You can't sell me on this. But I genuinely think she's about to die, though. Honestly. I have an idea of what would have made this show better. Her death is one of those things. I swear. I swear. I swear. Really? And when I think of, like, actresses playing their own twin, I think of The Parent Trap with Lindsay Lohan as a kid. She at least had an accent. something to differentiate between the two. But, you know, whatever. Through that exchange when he was about to kill the Sith. If he falls for this, the show's writing, even though those lightsaber exchanges were great, the show's writing will still not be on that same level. And it's already making me mad. It's genuinely making me mad. Now, I will... Again, I don't want to pause it, right? I don't want to pause it. Again, to be completely transparent, I hope that he is just playing her, knowing it's not her. I genuinely hope, because again, this is his Padawan. He should know that this is not her. He should know. It's already making me mad. But yeah. And if he's going to find out because of this beaver thing, you know what, he's about to heal her.
Even in the revelation of our triumph, we see the depth of our despair.
It ends right there. How long was this? It's 28 minutes. Okay. Okay. I need to talk about this. I hope he's not really falling for this. I hope this is a bait and switch, a trap. I don't see anyone living through this at all. I really don't. But I also don't know what kind of explanation could be had outside of maybe, possibly, them putting all of the bodies on the ship and like launching it into a star or something like that. The dialogue is still trash. It is. The dialogue is not engaging at all. The fights were genuinely good. Are they on par with the prequels? No, they're not. They're not at all. They're close though. They are better than the original trilogies because by default, the original trilogies is, of course, not going to be the most polished just due to the fact that it is a long time ago since those movies came out, even though there were genuine martial arts and sword training for the lightsaber fights, which Mark Hamill has confirmed. There are interviews, there are behind the scenes stuff showcasing that for Empire. So these are also above the sequel trilogy. I will say that. They are leagues above the sequel trilogy, actually. So that's the one thing I will applaud this show so far. They actually murdered people. And I was questioning, you saw me questioning, why is he not killing these people? And guess what? He did kill them. He did. And it genuinely shocked me because the whole baits of him not killing them made me think, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, they did really bait people in thinking that those two were not going to die just for him to kill them and it be a much more larger impact. So it was executed really well. It genuinely was, but I see what you're doing. It's not clever when you have someone who breaks it down literally 10 minutes after the episode already ended. Okay, this scene right here is so It's so stupid. He would see her hair being singed. You would see that. Her hair would be singed, right? And you can make the argument because they act the same personality wise, that's why he didn't figure out. But again, Force users are very adept. And when it comes down to student teacher relationships in Star Wars, you feel those things. You feel those connections, right? It's half the reason why Soul was genuinely able to find Osha in the first episode. I hope by episode 6, it's a whole bait and switch being like, oh, hey, I knew you weren't the twin that I was traveling with. Do you really think I'm that stupid? Do you? But I feel like that's not what's going to happen. They have this beaver thing, right? They have this beaver thing implying that he does not figure it out on his own, that this thing right here is going to help him put the pieces together. And that is such a stupid plot point. It's so dumb. It is so dumb. If that's what happens, if he figures it out because of this thing, then yes, this would be completely terrible writing. It is lore breaking. I do not care what kind of excuse you would make to say, oh, maybe he was distraught, he was knocked out, XYZ, elemental P. The fact of the matter is, because that is not outwardly explained, then it's still bad writing. If this was a book, this would be a solid book, just because we have actual, like, very detailed descriptions of what characters are doing within the moment of the scene. We will get internal dialogue, XYZ, elemental P. But because this is not a book, and because we need to actually infer what is happening when it happens, yes, we don't have the full context because they're still through more episodes. However, you are making this lead Jedi that you have built up to be genuinely a good person with, again, a questionable dark past, what have you. And you are making them out to be very, very, very dumb. Ultimately, this show suffers from genuinely bad writing. Are there some interesting plot points from a Star Wars fan perspective? Sure. The political aspects are intriguing until when you think about it and you realize, no, the Jedi, again, have kept things hush-hush from the Senate before. There's no reason why they wouldn't do it again with something this serious. Is this a new version of Plagueis? I'm not sure. Because with the timeline, a lot of people need to understand that the Emperor would be born within the next 20 years at the earliest. At the very earliest, either 20 or 30. So is this a version of Plagueis? However, is this going to be a situation where, oh, my master killed the actual Darth Plagueis, and Palpatine's master ends up being either Osha or May? I'm not sure at all. And if that's the case, I do not understand how Dave Filoni would allow that to happen. I genuinely think that Dave Filoni wouldn't allow them to introduce a concept of Plagueis or just introduce Palpatine's master in the show. I don't think he would actually allow that. If this was a little bit more distant from the prequels, then I guarantee you that at least 20% of the hate that this show gets would be lessened. if I'm saying that correctly. Overall, I genuinely will admit I actually enjoyed this episode despite the debates. Despite the actual debates, and then throwing the red herrings to confuse the audience or make the audience seem like, oh no, there is another option. We're just going to, do a throwaway line about mothers and say, oh, maybe it's one of the witches. Oh, and then, for them to fall back in it not being that, then you just wonder, what is the point in this exchange then if that's not the case at all? Another thing, you introduced another plot point about the exchange between Soul and whatever this Darth's name is. And I doubt that they are going to tell us what his name is. This may be the first Acolyte episode I would rewatch just because of these fights. These fights were like genuinely solid. And bro, I thought that this was Beskar. And then when they showed the lightsabers not working, I thought, oh, did he break the lightsabers? No, that's not what happened. Where's the scene at? So he's fighting him. I doubt the other Sith Lords are. Yeah, right there. So they've established cortosis in canon, in Thrawn Dark Allegiances, where there was a plot that the Emperor had involving cortosis. Another thing, right, that just came to mind is that they might actually do, which is probably why Dave Filoni greenlit this. The whole some may call me Sith line here. My issue when it comes down to that is there's a lot of room for interpretation. But Jedi like you might call me Sith. Now, if the writers are intelligent, right, and the only way I can think of Dave Filoni approving this is if this is someone who is a self-taught Sith, using the Jedi arts and like immersing themselves in the dark side, all for him to be a self-proclaimed Sith like so many other Sith Lords prior. And then they can also say, oh, that's why Ki-Adi-Mundi didn't say, didn't really consider him a Sith because he was self-proclaimed or something along those lines. Bad, like it would be good and bad writing, right? Because the good part about it is this is a self-proclaimed Sith and it won't be associated with Palpatine at all. So that's the good part. The bad part is it is a cop-out to keep things in line with canon, which would make this entire story a big nothing burger. Like, he is talking about wanting to train and teach people, right? He's saying, why risk discovery? And, okay, he did wear a mask. And he's saying what he wants, freedom, So you have that line. It's kind of Sith Cody, but not really. But wanting a pupil, I'm not sure, because we can also make the argument here that this is the same tactic that Palpatine used, right? Where he talks about wanting to share his knowledge with Anakin. So there's some spots here where I will play devil's advocate and say, yeah, this is within the lines of canon. But at the same time, I feel like it's poorly executed because the dialogue fills wooden. I would say that's the biggest problem with the show, is that for the most part, the show is boring. For the most part. This episode was actually pretty decent because of the fights. But for the most part, the show is boring, right? Second part, the dialogue is wooden. Nothing, I'm not going to say anything about the acting at all, but the dialogue just feels off. It feels like people are pretending to do their best Star Wars quotes without actually doing Star Wars quotes. And that's what bothers me. And the third and final thing that's a detriment to the show story is the simple fact that with this, right, every character ends up looking stupid for the sake of the plot. Dumb decisions are made for plot convenience, and that shouldn't be the case at all. You shouldn't have to resort to a character somehow magically losing brain cells as if they got hit in the face by a metal pan just for the plot to move forward and make sense within whatever story it's trying to tell, even though it doesn't make sense. But whatever. Overall, this episode is average. It's not solid. It is just inching above average. The lightsaber fights, great. The shock value stuff with the killing of those two characters, it's kind of bad to me now, because they did debate you into thinking that they were going to get away all for him to kill them anyway, and relatively quick. So that now the shock of their deaths feel meaningless to me now, because I already see what they were trying to do with the story. But yeah, I'm gonna stop talking. I am talking longer than what the episode was. So yeah, that's pretty much it.